Hello. Today I just wanted to make this video kind of like an introduction video. If I start rambling, that's okay because I'm just gonna be talking and stuff like that instead of just doing coloring ASMRs silently. I've been trying to do coloring ASMRs silently, but it's been really challenging. It's been really hard for me to do so. Considering the fact that, sometimes I'll forget that I'm even recording. I'll get so into the coloring. And truth be told, I'm actually the type of person to like talk to myself and stuff like that. And I'm not afraid to admit it because I know that there's a lot of people who talk to themselves. I know society has deemed talking to yourself as a negative thing and, pin talking to yourself on people with mental issues and, psychiatric problems, I guess. But through research and through hearing inspirational, motivational speakers, I've actually learned that talking to yourself is actually not a bad thing. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I also heard that geniuses talk to themselves a lot. Very, really, really smart people who think a lot, they talk to themselves a lot. And I always actually talk to myself, not in like a super severe way where like people would be like, what is wrong with that girl? When I'm thinking or when I'm by myself, I'll just talk to myself. I think a lot. I come up with ideas on a daily basis, so I guess you could say that. So, in terms of me doing ASMRs, it's been really hard just doing ASMRs and keeping quiet, especially when I'm not the type of person to like just be sitting by myself and just, keep quiet. So, yeah, I have my bundle of color pencils right here, Crayola, all of them right here. But I've actually picked out from my bundle the colors that I'll be using today. So, I picked out like a turquoise color, a blue color, purple, another dark blue, red, another shade of red, and a green. And these are the colors that I'll be using for today. I chose to use more blue because blue is more like a calming color. Blue is like a color that stabilizes. In the world of coloring, I guess I should say, with the little research that I've done, it can improve your health by promoting mindfulness, relieve stress, and embrace the imperfect. And in this society, in today's world where we're all trying to be perfect and fit in and do things according to the rules, and we're all afraid of making mistakes. Coloring is, I guess, that one thing where you can just be free and you can just do whatever you want. You can color outside of the lines if you want to. You can make mistakes, paint over it. You can color something the quote unquote wrong color and then take a different color and color right over it and act as if the mistake was never made. And another thing I learned about coloring is that coloring in terms of managing stress calms the brain, helps your body relax, and may improve sleep and fatigue while decreasing body aches, heart rate, respiration, and feelings of depression and anxiety. I'm actually reading that from, what I wrote down from my research. And, also in today's society where anxiety and depression is like skyrocketing, it's good to have something in our daily routine that will calm you, calm your heart rate, take your focus off of the things that cause you anxiety and depression to begin with. And yeah, blue is a calming color. And I've actually looked up how, the effects of blue on your mental, on your brain when you color. And I learned that blue it contrasts with red, as blue is associated with calm, serenity over intensity or passion. And I've also learned that it represents a state of inner reflection. The impact of blue results in lower heart rates and even slower metabolisms. It is unique and authentic. And it symbolizes enthusiasm, sympathy. It's a very personal color. It's a color of influence. It's also a color of royalty and value. And it's just an overall calming color. And speaking of self-reflection or inner reflection, I actually want to talk about, being in a peaceful setting, having a more peaceful state of mind, as I should say, and also surrounding yourself with people who strive and desire to also have a peaceful state of mind more often than not. There's so many things that cause us so much stress, especially if you're living in a state that is about like the hustle and bustle, like New York, or, just like a fast-paced state or a fast-paced country, wherever you're living. And sometimes you can get addicted to the hustle and bustle. You can get addicted to the opinions of others. You can get addicted to what everybody else has going on for themselves. So, you need to take some time out and just think about yourself. What are your opinions on things? How do you feel about what you have going on? Is your life where you want your life to be? What are you doing to work towards a life that you want? Are you praying to God? Are you asking God for guidance and redirection? All of those things. Sometimes living in a house with negative people, some people may have negative family members, negative friends, negative parents, siblings. And sometimes it can actually get to you, because for some of us, we're kind of like the black sheeps in the family. We were born to be the ones to break generational curses, to break, poverty that runs in our family lines, our bloodlines. Your great-grandmother and great-grandfather almost made it but didn't. Then your father and your mother almost made it but didn't. And now you find out, like, in your adult life and even throughout your childhood and teenage years, it's like a constant battle to make it. And it's like the higher you elevate, the more the enemy just tries to attack you and attack you and attack you. And because you have certain wisdom even if you're young, like I am, you know, you realize that, okay, wait a minute. If I weren't supposed to be the one to break certain, you know, habits and addictions and generational curses and spirits and stuff like that off of my family, if I weren't the one chosen and called to do certain things, to bring wealth into my family, breakthroughs into my family, sustainability into my family, then, you know, the enemy, he wouldn't be fighting me so hard. And it's because of that wisdom that we even like kind of go super hard on certain things that we do. Here's that beautiful purple. Purple is the color of royalty. Purple is definitely a color of royalty. As we go forward in this channel and I start to buy like different colors and stuff like that, I love crayons and color pencils and stuff like that, and just different colors in general. So, you know, I'm definitely gonna go all out on that. But yeah, I don't know, just the color purple just gave me like a boost just now, because it actually does symbolize royalty. The color purple is another color that actually symbolizes royalty. It symbolizes wealth. It symbolizes novelty. And yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and use purple over here too. And so, like I was saying, we are the ones who, we work really hard. We intercede, we pray, we fast constantly and ask God for redirection. We get attacked a lot because, you know, God created us to carry certain mantles and to carry certain assignments that honestly only we can accomplish and fulfill. And the thing about it is, God knows that we have the capacity to get the job done. He knows that we have the capacity to fulfill what it is he put in us, the ideas, the assignments, whatever the case is. So he just looks at us and kind of smiles, because he knows that no matter what the enemy tries, he's not gonna succeed, because he has already placed in us the capacity to be able to withhold the attacks, to withhold the jealousy, the envy, whatever the case is. So he kind of just laughs like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then he's just always there to comfort us in time where we feel like, you know, just as humans, we just feel like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, am I really called for this? Like, am I really equipped for this? Can I really do this? I haven't seen anybody in my family do this. I haven't seen anybody in my family or in my friend group or in my friend circle accomplish things that, you know, I want to accomplish. A lot of the times he'll use you to be the example to everybody around you that it can be done. And so here we are coloring to get our minds right? Yeah. And it's so funny because I'm not the type of person to necessarily love just coloring. And I've been doing it for a while now, and I'm like, why am I supposed to be coloring? Like, what is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it helps in some ways, but Sometimes you just get, you don't, you use it as a stress reliever or whatever the case is. But sometimes you just don't want to color. And like I said, in the beginning, I had just been coloring and trying to keep quiet because every other coloring ASMR I've seen, red is a color of power and authority. That's why you see the president wears a red tie. I'm just gonna go ahead and color this red too. Lately, even in like the industry, the entertainment industry and the music industry, whatever the case is, you've been seeing like the, trends where everybody's wearing red. Stuff like that. Red is a very vibrant color. Anytime you see like a business with a logo, a business wanting to promote something, a lot of the time they'll use the color red, or they'll use the color green, because red is just that one color that attracts the human eye. I don't really think anybody, unless this is not to be like any type of way, like unless maybe you're colorblind or something like that and you can't really see color, like out of all the colors that may be on a canvas or a painting or whatever the case is, red is that one color, as you can see, that's just gonna stick out and stand out. I'm gonna come through with this turquoise again. I'm gonna go here. Is this turquoise? Aqua green. Okay. Is turquoise aqua green? So, like I was saying, I'm like, sometimes I just get bored trying to just do ASMRs, because every ASMR that I've watched, everybody's quiet or making certain sounds or whatever the case is. And I'm just like, okay, I definitely don't want to make funny sounds. Even though it's helpful to some people, I don't want to do that. And sometimes I just be wanting to straight up just talk while I'm coloring. I don't want to have restrictions when I'm coloring. I want to talk and color and be free. Period. So then I said, you know what? Forget about what everybody else is doing. Me talking while I'm coloring and just talking about real life situations and just how I'm feeling and telling stories that may or may not be relatable to other people. That's what's going to make my channel and my coloring videos different than everybody else. So I went ahead and changed the title of my channel from Flowers Coloring ASMRs, where I just silently color beautiful flowers, different colors, to art industry. Art, A-R-T, industry. This is my industry right here. This is our industry right here, where we color and we just talk about anything we want. We color whatever we want, however we want to, and talk about whatever we want, however we want to talk about it. The art industry is just a peaceful environment, a safe environment to express yourself however you want through your art. And I guess, I don't know, freedom of speech, I guess. But we're just talking about, calm stuff, calm topics or whatever. Just saying whatever we want in a world where you have to just be so cautious of the words that come out of your mouth and the things that you say, because you don't want to offend anybody, and you don't want this person to not like you, and you want to be friends with everybody, and So back to what I was saying, a lot of people, are the ones in your family that will break that cycle. of poverty to extreme and massive, especially, you know, if you're a Christian, you believe in God and stuff like that, or you don't just have to necessarily be Christian. You can just, you know, not to be, you don't have to be religious, you know, but you read your Bible, you pray, you fast, you really believe in God and his saving grace and stuff like that. You're the one in that family that is always getting attacked for something, whether it's by your family members, friends, or, you know, maybe it's like physical, like, you know, different types of abuse or whatever the case is. And you just keep working and keep working and keep working. I forgot this blue right here. This is light blue. I'm gonna use this. You just keep working, praying, fasting. Like, I know what God called me to do. He's been showing me over and over and over again. And no matter what comes my way, because I know that God is so mighty and he's so gracious and loving and caring, I'm just going to continue working. I'm not going to let the devil, I'm not going to let the enemy faze me. I'm not going to let all these distractions and things like that get in my way. And I'm just going to keep working. Like, God can take the smallest things and have you profit off of it, you know? I was watching this video yesterday, and this lady, I just started following her, literally, honestly, like a couple hours ago, because it was like 2:00 in the morning when I was watching her. And she basically said something that really struck me. She said that a lot of the time we feel as though God is telling us no because we were brought up and raised by parents who constantly told us no for everything. So anytime we go to God like, oh, God, can you please help me so that I can have a successful YouTube channel? Or, God, can you please help me so that I can be able to make money and profit off of this or profit off of that? We automatically, because we kind of relate our relationship with God to our relationship with our parents. We kind of just assume that if things don't happen the way how we think that it's supposed to happen when we pray to God and ask God for things, that his answer was no. Because anytime we've ever asked our parents for stuff, their answer was always no. And she said that God never says no to provision, but he says no to sin. And that really struck me because, like, God has been showing me so many ways and so many things I can do to get form, you know, so many things I could do for, see, this is what I'm talking about, just coloring right over it. And see, you can't really tell the difference like that. You know, so many ways and so many things that I can do to be able to make money for myself. But because I had parents that were constantly telling me no and constantly wanted things to be done their way, anytime I would ask God, can you help me with this? If I start doing this, will I be successful at it? God will be sitting there like, yeah, go ahead, do it. He'll give me all the signs, everything, all the signs, the confirmations. But because I'm so used to my parents, my earthly parents telling me no and telling me, oh, this is not going to work or that's not going to work or whatever the case is. Well, not necessarily like, oh, it's not going to work, but, you know, giving off that kind of energy for different reasons too. Maybe they've never seen anything like it. So they don't really, you know, believe it, or they're not sure. I would automatically jump to conclusions like, oh, maybe God said no. or I'll have that hyper faith that, okay, if I ask God for something and he gave me a confirmation through a dream or through reading my Bible or through a sermon or whatever, that he'll just get up off of his throne and come and provide it for me just because he said yes. When in reality, which is another thing the lady talked about, when God confirms, like, oh, you go to God, hey, God, I'm really interested in car detailing, and it's something that I really want to do. It's something I'm really passionate about. Can you help me so that I could be able to make provisions doing car detailing? This is one of my gifts. And God will literally say, yeah. And he'll provide ways for you to excel in car detailing. He'll make provisions for you. He'll create opportunities for you to be able to get certain provisions from car detailing. And I'm just using that as an example. But if you don't actually get up and work towards it, it's not just gonna magically happen. When you work towards it, that's when you'll see things start to manifest. When you pray about it constantly, when you fast about it, when you go to God about it, okay, what's the next step, God? What do I do next? The tiny steps, the little things. That's when you'll see that things start to just work in your favor or whatever the case is, and different opportunities will be open up to you. And it's just so funny that my dad always used to tell me all the time, God helps those who helps themselves. My dad was a workaholic. He worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. He'll always say, God helps those who helps themselves. God helps those who helps themselves. I'm very young in age, but even at this early age of mine, I'm already seeing that, what my dad always taught me all the time growing up, it's really true. God really does help those who help themselves. He really helps those who helps themselves. Because those are the, I guess you can say, spiritual laws that you have to go by. You cannot just say, oh yeah, I'm a child of God, so God is going to rain down hundreds of thousands of dollars on me and millions of dollars on me and even billions of dollars on me. You have to go out and work for what you want. You have to go and work towards the ideas that God has been putting in your head. You have to work towards the spiritual downloads that God has been downloaded into your mind, the ideas, the business ideas, the redirections. You have to go work towards it. Excuse me. And I watched my dad work so hard, and sometimes I used to be like, dang, my dad worked so hard, 2 and 3 jobs. My dad understood that principle well. And when I look at all of his accomplishments, even though they weren't in my opinion, even though they weren't accomplishments that I feel like he deserved, meaning I feel like for the amount of time that he worked, I feel like he deserved way more fruits for his labor. The thing is, he understood those principles, and he may not have, received all that he worked for, but he received a lot, and he was able to elevate in his life on the scale that he did because of certain principles that he valued and he went by. And he will always tell me too, reward sweetens labor. I'll never forget that. Reward sweetens labor. And it's very true. When you work and you get rewards for the hard work that you put in, it makes the labor sweet. It gives you like a boost of energy to keep working and keep going hard and keep grinding. I don't believe in hustling. I really don't. I don't believe in hustling. So I'm not even going to say hustling. But keep grinding, keep working hard, you know, towards what it is you want in life. And I'm going to end this video around like maybe 36 minutes. Because honestly, like with the amount of storage I have in my phone right now, I find that like when I make the shorter videos, it's way easier to edit and upload videos on my phone. When I get in a position where like, you know, I'm able to edit and upload longer videos, I definitely will. But for now, I'm just going to stop it at maybe like 36 minutes. But reward really does sweeten labor. It really does. You work hard and you get that reward. It sweetens the labor. So work hard, guys. Work hard. Work hard. Work hard. Work hard. I just love this red color. I just love this red color. Some people may look at certain, like something that you do and be like, that's easy. Look at how many workouts you will look at other people doing and be like, that's easy. Like, why are they sweating so much? Like, why are they out of breath? And then when they go and try to do that same workout, they're like, whoa, this workout is not as easy as I thought. So many times we look at certain things and think, let me just get into it because it looks easy. And then when we finally get into it now, we're like, wait a minute, this is not as easy as I thought. You know, even with the simplest things too. You may think, hey, that one idea that you know God been telling you to do, right? And go ahead and pursue. And he's been showing you all of the fruits and all of the rewards that will come from you doing that. And then, but you look at it like, that simple thing, how is that simple thing gonna get me this reward or get me this award? And then when you finally go and do it, you realize, wait a minute, okay, hold on. It's actually not as simple as I thought that it was going to be. You know? Oh, guys, I only have 1 more minute left. Not to rush or anything, but let me do as much as I can up until this 1 minute is over. But even though it's not as simple as you thought, it's still doable. That's the thing. It's not as simple as you thought. It's simpler than most things, but it's not as simple as you thought. But whether it's not as simple or it's more complex, it's still doable. My last question actually is, do you guys want me to continue to do like flower ASMR? I mean, flower coloring pages, continue to like, you know, color in flowers, or do you guys want me to transition to other stuff? Like, what do you want to see me color? Like birds. I've been very fond of birds lately. I've been seeing a lot of birds, especially blue jays around my house. You guys want to see me color whatever it is, just put it in the chat. And yeah, But if you guys want me to continue coloring flowers, I definitely can't do that because I enjoy doing that anyways. And I finally got a Yeti mic, so I'm definitely gonna start using that in my videos to make the videos way better for you guys. And again, this is just my introduction. Am I the only one who colors super hard? Like, it's like color pencil or crayon to paper heavily, like. Get those nooks and crannies. Don't you just love getting the nooks and crannies when you're coloring? Yep. And then getting those areas that you feel like you missed. Still. There you go. Lovely. There you go. Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and stay tuned for more of my videos. And let's get us to 500 subs. Bye.